Hey everyone. Well, it's late January and already we've got a lot of warm weather. We've got a whole week where it's going to be in the 80s. So what does that mean? Well, it means the mosquitoes are going to be coming out. So I have tried everything to eliminate the mosquitoes, or at least reduce them here. They're pretty bad. So, they'll tell you mosquitoes will breed in standing water. It's Florida, it rains a lot. Not this time of year so much, but in the summer almost every day for half an hour to an hour. So it's pretty difficult to eliminate standing water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the fact that any type of standing water mosquitoes will breed in, and I'm going to use that to my advantage. And how am I going to do that? Well, we're going to see if this will work. These are called Mosquito Dunks, and they're not expensive. You can buy a year's worth for like $30 on Amazon. And so what you do is you just take one of these and throw it in some water. It's perfectly safe for animals, even frogs and everything. The only thing it does is it stops the mosquitoes' eggs from hatching, so they can breed all they want. So what I've got here is I've got 4 more buckets. I've got a few already, 3 or 4 around the yard. I tried this, so this was interesting. So this used to be a prime breeding ground. This is a little catch bin, and last year, probably late in the fall, I put one of these in for the first time. They last a few months, and sure enough, there are no live mosquito larvae in that water anymore. But as you can see by what's floating on there, many insects have tried to breed. Many mosquitoes have tried to breed in that water. So I'm going to spread these around, and I guess this is going to be a two-part. I'm going to compress them into one, but then I'm going to wait 4 to 6 weeks, and I'm going to see. I know I've been here for like 5 years, so I know how bad the mosquitoes can be. And I'm going to see if after I do this, after I hide these around the places where they breed, if the mosquitoes are fewer. Now, I can't do anything about the neighbors if they're coming over from there, but the truth is they're pretty immediate. When you walk outside, they're pretty much on you. So if they're not pretty much on me when I walk outside, this is working. All right, so I'll be back. We'll see how this experiment works. I'm hoping it's positive. I'll talk to you soon. All you do is you take one of these guys out and put it in the water. Okay, and then every 3 months, put a new one in there. The one in this bucket has been here for several weeks, so you can see it's starting to break down just a little bit. But I'm gonna put a bucket down that corner and a couple over there. I've got a few around the backyard, possibly one over in this corner of the yard, and we'll see. So we're a couple months in, and I've found that it looks like small animals are taking these out of the water and eating them. So I've got to come up with a new solution for that. So my solution is to use some of this fine grade Chinesium and sink these so they're not floating on the surface. Because I've found in several of the buckets, these have been eaten, or at least half eaten. So whatever eats them only likes half of them. so I've got this here because some lizards have gotten stuck in here, but there's the one. See, they float on the top. So I'm gonna put this on it, drop it in there, and it's down in there. It'll still work. So it's now June. You can see the algae growing in the buckets. Not that that would bother mosquitoes from breeding in there. One thing you won't see in any of the buckets is mosquito larvae. You'll see dead mosquitoes, but you won't see any mosquito larvae in the water. Not all the buckets are full of algae. Now, on top of that, it's June, middle of June. I'm working outside a lot, and you remember under the carport how bad the mosquitoes were, like when I was painting the Suburban, under the gazebo here where I do a lot of projects, how bad the mosquitoes were. They were everywhere. And you know, it's late in the day now, it's after 5. The normal mosquito time will be pretty soon, and honestly, I don't see them. There's very few, whereas I used to see dozens of them while I was working on a project in the afternoon, because as soon as I was in the shade, the mosquitoes were on you. As soon as you went under the carport, they were on you. As soon as you went on the porch, they were on you. But with all these buckets around, there's no mosquitoes. Well, not none. I do occasionally see one. And if I walk like to the far corner of the yard there, they're there. But they're not anywhere near the central part of the yard where the buckets are. All right, so my belief is this works. So let's talk again about my strategy here. Mosquitoes, of which there are thousands of varieties, breed in standing water. And a female mosquito in her lifetime can lay thousands, up to 5,000 eggs. And rather than swatting at mosquitoes or using a bug zapper or something like that, the strategy is to stop them before they actually hatch. It's a fantastic way of doing it because you're killing tens of thousands of them with one bucket as opposed to killing a few by hand. So a mosquito can last, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks, I guess, something like that. I guess the males die sooner, maybe 2 weeks. But you need to have these in for at least a month because you need to kind of break the cycle, and then you'll be able to see a reduction. And I've certainly seen a reduction. There are almost none in this yard. But if I go for a walk around the neighborhood, they're on me. So hey, if you like this sort of content, found it helpful, useful, I certainly found this experiment very useful. You know, the very logic of giving them a place to breed so that they'll use it and not have any larvae or pupae hatch, that's a great strategy. It seems to really work. I can't stop them from coming from the neighbors' yards, but since I now know this works, I may start encouraging some of the neighbors to do the same, because you know, we could have a mosquito-free neighborhood, or almost mosquito-free. I'll leave you with one more tidbit. I did notice that whereas I always had bats flying overhead, especially since I relocated that bat colony in the backyard, this summer I'm not seeing bats flying over and through my yard anymore. I think there's just not enough mosquitoes for them. I can't say I've seen none, but whereas it used to just be a constant thing, when the sun started going down, you started to see the mosquitoes out, and then as the sun set, you started to see the bats flying everywhere eating the mosquitoes. Now the cycle's broken here, so I'll see them, but just not over my property because there's apparently just not enough mosquitoes. All right, so I'll say again, if you found this video useful, interesting, helpful, I hope you found it helpful, please like and subscribe. I've always got more videos coming. And you know, if you want to take on something like this, as I always say, the Mosquito Dunks, there's a link in the description. They're not hard to find, they're not expensive. Pick up some buckets at Lowe's or Home Depot or whichever. Put them around your yard, drop these things in it every 2 to 3 months, and you know, you'll see the mosquitoes start to disappear. All you got to do is go out, get busy. Take care.